are 7 lessons that are gonna help you quit your 9 to 5 and pursue your passion. Lesson number 1 is when you don't know where you wanna go, but you know that you don't wanna be where you are, focus on self-development. Lesson number 2 is to get extremely uncomfortable. Lesson number 3 is you need to track every dollar coming in and going out if you want to be a full-time entrepreneur. Lesson number 4 is to burn the boats. Lesson number 5 is to do it hard. Lesson number 6, work on your mindset every single day. Lesson number 7 is to break the chains. So I want to start my story off by saying that it's not all sunshine and rainbows. So I'm actually in the Dominican Republic right now recording this YouTube video, and my plan was to record this YouTube video outside with the sunshine and show you guys how beautiful the Dominican Republic is. But that's not how entrepreneurship works, and I actually feel like that's the perfect lesson to start this video with, because I feel like most YouTube videos you'd tune into, most podcasts you'd listen to would promise the dream, and it would promise that everything's always sunshine and rainbows, but the truth is, it is not always going to be like that. So at 23 years old, I was lost. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I had just finished a big series of like partying, drinking, doing lots of drugs, and I realized that that wasn't the direction that I wanted to go with my life. And so I was lost and I didn't know what to do. So I was in this phase of like trying to figure it out, and I knew that I didn't want to work for somebody else forever, but I also didn't really know what that meant. I also really didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And so because I was lost and uncertain, I decided that what I wanted to do was go and develop myself, my mindset, my skill set, and just me as a person. So I ended up registering for this thing called the Higher Purpose Project, where basically it was a 4-week-long retreat. We went into the mountains, we were hiking, we were, dancing around a lake, we were cold plunging, and we were like deep diving into some of our limiting beliefs. And even though I didn't know what I wanted to do at the time, like working on myself and my self-development, it basically gave me a direction. And even though I didn't have a direction for where I wanted to go with my life yet, deciding to work on myself allowed me to start moving. So lesson number 1 is to focus on self-development. And you will always win when you start investing in yourself and investing in mentors and finding rooms to put yourself in and finding communities that will challenge you to grow. You will always be at an advantage. And so if you're uncertain with what direction you want to take with your life, but you know that you want to do something bigger than you're doing right now, the first lesson that's going to help you quit your 9 to 5 is to invest in yourself. So after going to the Higher Purpose Project, after working on my mindset, I started to get some sort of direction. I started to get some like sense of purpose. And I still was like unclear of how the pathway was going to develop, but I had a better mindset and I was working on my goals. I was going to the gym, I was exercising, I had a vision, and I was heading in that direction. So what I decided to do was I decided to book a trip to Bali. And I went there for 3 weeks with a little bit of experience with my online coaching business and a little bit of certainty that I wanted to start, but still unsure of how I was gonna make it happen. And when I was in Bali, I ended up being super low on funds while I was there. And basically when my back was against the wall, I was put in this position where I was in a third world country without access to money. My family didn't have money. And so I either had to figure out how to make money or I was gonna be stuck in the country. That trip ended up being the best thing that ever happened to me, because in that 3 weeks, I was in a lot of financial scarcity. I had no idea how I was going to find my way home. I had no idea how I was gonna pay for my next Airbnb. I had no idea how I was going to make it out of the fucking trip. I was literally going to the grocery store buying the cheapest possible option, which was eggs and rice. I was coming back and I was eating eggs and rice 3 meals a day. And that was it. I was just trying to survive. And during that time, I'm glad I took the time to develop my mindset first, because when my back was against the wall, it really forced me to dig inside of myself and figure out like how to get resourceful and how to be successful when I didn't have anything backing me. So lesson number 2 is to get extremely uncomfortable. Going to a third world country for the first time without any financial backing, without any extra resources, and barely any money in my account was extremely challenging. Especially at 23 years old, when when you're at 23 years old, you don't really have like a lot of connections. Like it's not like I had a lot of wealthy friends or people that I had done favors for in the past. It was literally just me in a third world country, unsure of like what I was gonna do to get out of it. And so lesson number 2 is to get extremely uncomfortable. Being in that third world country and not having access to money forced me to start my online coaching business. It forced me to learn how to make money online because I was put in a do or die situation. And I think that a lot of people refuse to put themselves in do or die situations because they're afraid of failure. I mean, what happens if you put yourself in a do or die situation and you don't make it out? A lot of people project the worst case scenario. They're like, well, if I go on that vacation and I go all in on my business and it doesn't end up working, then I'll end up back at my 9 to 5 and I'll be stuck there forever. And people just project these worst case scenarios, and as a result of doing that, they never take any action. I can promise you, lesson number 2, getting extremely uncomfortable is absolutely paramount to your success. You need to find a way to challenge your comfort zones, whether that's making a big financial investment in something, or whether that is, leaving your partner that's been toxic, or whether that is taking a leap of faith and doing something that you've always wanted to do, but you've been putting on the back burner. I think getting extremely uncomfortable allowed me to get resourceful. So if you're listening to this or you're watching this video and you're sensing yourself being comfortable, you go to the same coffee shops, you work out at the same gym, you talk to the same people, you make the same amount of money that you did last year. If you are comfortable right now in your life, I promise you that is not the pathway to success. That is not the pathway to quitting your 9 to 5. Lesson number 2 is you need to find a way to get extremely uncomfortable. Okay, so I'm in Bali. I end up making enough money to make it home, thankfully. And in that trip, learning that I could make money while I was in a foreign country forced me to realize, if I can make money while I'm in Bali, I can definitely make money when I'm in Canada. So when I flew back from Bali to Canada, I was still working at an Irish pub at the time as a bartender. But this time, now I was making about $2,000 to $3,000 a month. And I wanted to quit my job and I wanted to go full-time online. However, $2,000 to $3,000 a month I felt like wasn't enough. I didn't know though. And so lesson number 3 is you need to track every dollar coming in and going out if you want to be a full-time entrepreneur. In order for me to safely quit my job without a lot of risk, I needed to know what was going out and what was coming in. And so I made a list, and I call this list your base monthly expenses. Your phone bill, your gym, your groceries, your mortgage if you have one, or your rent if you have one, your gas, your electricity. What are the base monthly expenses that you have? And what does that number equal? And so when I figured out, my base monthly expenses were around $3,500 at the time. So I was like, okay, base monthly expenses are $3,500. How much is my online coaching business making? So I calculated. I'm like, okay, I have 10 clients paying me $250 a month. I have 2 clients that paid me in full, and so my online coaching business is making $2,500 a month. So my base monthly expenses were $35. My online coaching business was making $2,500. At that point, it actually wasn't feasible for me to quit my job. And so you need to know when the right time and the wrong time is to quit. And I think that's a lot of people want to either, number 1, rush the process and they're like, I'm just going to quit. I'm just going to go all in, screw it, it doesn't matter. Or they end up making more than their base monthly expenses and they hang on to their job because they want that security, where the answer is somewhere in the middle, meaning you need to figure out what your base monthly expenses are, and then once you match those base monthly expenses, we're gonna get to the next point. But lesson number 3 is to make sure that you're tracking all the money going out and all the money coming in, because that will allow you to make a calculated and educated decision on the right time of when to quit your job. Lesson number 4, and this one's my favorite. Lesson number 4 is to burn the boats. And so you know your money going out, you know your money coming in. Now, once your base monthly expenses match your online income, you need to burn the boats. Once you're making enough money with your online business to quit your 9 to 5 job, you need to commit. You need to go all in. There's a story about a Spanish sailor. His name's Hernan Cortez. He sailed across the sea to conquer a land. And when he arrived on the shore, Hernan Cortez is famous for ordering all of his soldiers to burn the ships down, which sounds crazy. Why would you burn the ships down? Well, when you burn the ships down after you sail across the ocean, there's only 2 options. Option number 1, we conquer the land that we came here to conquer, or option number 2, we die on the land that we came to conquer. And when you're put in that sort of situation where it's either win or fail miserably and die, you end up winning. So I remember walking, once I figured out my base monthly expenses matched my online income, I remember walking up to my manager, and this is my definition of burning the boats. I walked up to my manager and I said this. I was like, listen, I am no longer passionate about working for this company. I am tired of talking to these people about problems I don't like. I'm tired of serving alcohol when I feel like I'm meant for more. And so I'm quitting this job, and I never want you to hire me back because I'm actually so miserable at this job that if I come back to your facility and serve your customers, then I'm going to be a negative bartender because I don't enjoy being here. So lesson number 4 is you need to burn the boats. Burning the boats, by my definition, is cutting off all other alternatives other than success. It's either I win or I die. And for you, what that means is quit the job. Leave the relationship. Make the commitment to go all in on yourself. Do whatever you need to do to cut yourself off from your safety net that you saved for yourself so that you can find out what you're truly made of, which is why it's important to do the work first, right? You need to work on your mindset. You know what I mean? Like, you need to work on your mindset, and you need to do all of these steps leading up to burning the boats. Lesson number 5. Lesson number 5 is to do it hard. Man, I think that so many people think that entrepreneurship is just gonna be this linear graph where they just start, they get success, and they just keep moving forward and they just keep getting success. Here's actually what happens when you become an entrepreneur. You get a little bit of success and then shit crashes. Then you get a little bit more success and then it crashes. And then you start winning on a big level and then you get depressed. And then it's like this up and down and up and down and up and down. And I think that so many people are tempted to go back to their old way of life. They're tempted to go back to their 9 to 5. They're tempted to go back to the way that it used to be. But lesson number 5 is to do it hard. Like, you need to make the commitment that you're gonna show up and do the very best that you can do every single day, regardless of how it feels, regardless of how you're feeling. And you need to make the commitment that you're going to show out at every single possible opportunity, even when it's massively challenging. I remember when I was growing my business, I had a breakup that I went through, and this was while I was running Aesthetic Nation, my online fitness coaching company. I had 5 trainers working for me. I had 50 of my own clients. There was about 200 clients that were at the business. And going through this breakup and having this experience where, you know, me and my partner split, I still needed to maintain a positive mindset because it's not like my 50 clients were gonna walk around and like just wait for me to be depressed. And so I remember showing up every single day. I set an alarm on my phone every hour on the hour, and I did affirmations to like help me through my heartbreak. And my affirmations were like, I'm strong, I got this, I'm powerful. And that's what was required to get me through that season, because I'm not the type of person that's gonna allow myself to allow my emotions to dictate my success. And so you need to learn how to do it hard. Listen, I get it. Sometimes there's gonna be a death in the family. You're gonna get sick. A loved one's gonna get sick. You're gonna experience extreme adversity. You're gonna get depressed. You're gonna be sad. You're gonna go through all of these negative emotional states. You're gonna feel like your business is crashing. You're gonna feel like you're failing. You're gonna feel like you're a failure. Somebody in your family might tell you you're a failure. You have to learn how to do it hard. You have to learn how to do it hard. If you want to quit your 9 to 5 and you want to be able to work from anywhere, including the rainy Dominican where I was supposed to be filming outside, then you need to learn how to do it hard, which means showing up and doing the work even when you don't want to. Lesson number 6. I don't know why I put up 2 thumbs for that. Lesson number 6. Work on your mindset every single day. Depression doesn't take a break. Anxiety doesn't take a break. Sadness doesn't take a break. And so you need to make the commitment that you're also not gonna take a break. Guys, life can be challenging sometimes, especially when you're watching the news and you're seeing all this like the corona baloney stuff and the bank crisis and the stuff going on in Ukraine. It's really easy to get caught up in all of this negativity that's constantly being marketed to us by the mass media. I think it's really important to come into yourself and know yourself very well. And you need to work on your mindset literally every single day. I think one of the things that's separated me from the pack and allowed me to become successful is that no matter what, every single day, the first 30 to 45 minutes of my day are spent on my mental state. I meditate, I express gratitude, I visualize my goals, and I never, ever, ever miss. Why? Because my anxiety never, ever, ever misses either. My anxiety is there on a day-to-day basis, knocking on my door and asking me how I'm doing. My depression creeps in and tries to say things to me to remind myself of who I used to be. Sometimes sadness will creep in and tell me that I'm not doing good enough or that I'm not good enough. And I think that knowing that your subconscious mind and your past experiences and the world outside is, sometimes it can be chaotic. I think it's so important to never, ever, ever miss a day on your mindset. And entrepreneurship can be a roller coaster. Sometimes it's beautiful and it's so exciting and it's, you're winning and clients are getting results and you're happy and your clients are happy and everything's amazing. And sometimes it's not. Like sometimes you're literally firefighting. Literally, I'm on this trip in the Dominican right now, and I got here, my intention was to not work as much, and I think I've worked more on this trip than I do back at home, because something happened in the business that I needed to take care of. And that's part of the game. And so if I hadn't worked on my mindset and primed myself for success, I might let something like that ruin the trip. However, because I'm working on my mindset every single day and I'm able to deal and regulate with my emotions, because I'm actively taking care of my mindset by doing different modalities like hypnosis and therapy and meditation and visualization, I'm able to move through life storms as a calm individual, and I'm not getting sucked into the storm. Instead, I'm the one that's in the middle. Have you guys ever seen the inside of a hurricane? If you're actually inside of a hurricane, the eye itself is very calm. And I think that analogy is how I want you to navigate your way through life. And the way that you do that is by working on your mindset every single day. There are literally hundreds of thousands of thoughts that go through your mind on a day-to-day basis. And if you're not making the commitment to master your mindset and master the way that you perceive the world and master how you approach situations, you'll get triggered easily, you'll make irrational decisions, you might, slip into scarcity because of one bad day or one bad week or one bad month, and then question your abilities, and then you'll question whether or not you should keep quitting your 9-to-5 or whether you should go back to your old life. And so if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you need to make the commitment that every single day, no matter what, you will master and you will work on and you will be diligent in approaching how you're taking care of your mind. And lesson number 7, in order to quit your 9-to-5 and go full-time online, lesson number 7 is to break the chains. You've literally spent 10, 20, 30 years subscribed to the idea that you need to trade hours of your life for a dollar amount. I want you to understand something, because this has really hit me recently. Time is gonna pass. Think about this, okay? So I want you to think about somebody that is, older. Let's say 70, 80 plus. I think that when we see people that, for me, when I used to see people that were older, I don't think I ever fully saw myself in them. And what I mean by that is I think that when we're younger, we have this idea, this perception of ourselves that we're immortal and that our life isn't gonna come to an end, and that we're always gonna be the age that we are, and that things are always gonna be the way that they are. But I want you to understand that one day your life is going to come to an end. And so being subscribed to an idea that your life energy, the limited amount of time that you get on planet Earth, in the tens and hundreds and thousands and billions of years that the world has been around, you get this fucking tiny little speck of time to be alive. And to think that so many people spend their entire life trading 8 hours a day for a dollar amount, and then getting to 65, retiring, getting a pension check, and then getting to 80, 90, and then dying, actually fucking shocks me. So you need to break the chains of how you perceive reality. And the way that you do that is by getting the fuck out of your comfort zone and doing things that actually show you that you have unlimited potential. Travel the fucking world. You keep talking about how you want to travel the world, but don't you understand that one day you're gonna die? And you might think that it's when you're 80, but you also might get hit by a bus. And so putting off your goals and your aspirations and the things that you want to do because we have this diluted perception that we're immortal doesn't make any sense to me. Find your fucking dream partner and drop the shell that you're good with being alone, and understand that if you actually died today and nobody was by your side, do you think that would be a positive experience? Find your dream partner and be committed to them, because you only get one life. And so why would you spend a certain amount of time denying yourself of love because you've got your own shit inside of you? Break the chains. Like, make the commitment to go all in on your vision, all in on your dreams, all in on your aspirations, because you only get one life. For me, it's like, I made the commitment that not only am I going to do everything that I ever set my mind to, I'm gonna get the Lamborghini, I'm gonna get the fucking mansion, I'm gonna own the gym, I'm gonna be a mentor for youth, I'm gonna be an inspiration to millions and billions of people. Not only am I going to do that, but I'm going to spend my entire life sharing these life lessons so that I can inspire more of you to fully step into your power and understand that you need to break the chains, you need to remove the shackles, you need to change the way that you see reality, because the reality that you've been subscribed to does not lead to fucking freedom. It's not like at the end of this road of working 9 to 5 for 40 fucking years for $40 an hour, at the end of that road is not like a freedom life. Like, I want you to understand that you can achieve anything that you set your mind to, but you need to break the chains, and you need to commit to traveling. You need to commit to going all in. You need to commit to being there for your fucking kids as they grow up. Another thing, those of you guys that have children, I want you to think about something for a second. Like, I want to be there when my kids grow up. I want to watch my kids grow up. I want to watch my kids become 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I want to like be there through that growing experience. And you watching this video have the ability to do that. But you have to unshackle yourself from the way that you've been thinking. You have to get rid of the scarcity, get rid of the limitation, get rid of all the fears and all the doubts and all the insecurities, and follow all of the 7 steps that I've laid out in this video. So let's recap. Lesson number 1, when you don't know what to focus on self-development. Lesson number 2, you need to get extremely uncomfortable. At some point, in order to chase your goals, you're gonna need to do something that's way outside of your comfort zone. Hire the mentor, take a trip solo, do something that's going to get you massively outside of your comfort zone, move to a new city, and force yourself to grow. Number 3, make more than your base monthly expenses. In order for you to quit your job sustainably and in a way that actually makes sense, you need to know what your base monthly expenses are, and then you need to match or slightly beat your base monthly expenses before you make the commitment to quit your 9 to 5. Number 4, burn the boats. If you have the opportunity to retreat, oftentimes you will take that opportunity. Success is hard. It comes with failure. And a lot of people don't understand that success and failure are the exact same thing. And so when people start failing and the post doesn't work, the offer doesn't hit, the landing page doesn't work, they go 30 days without a sale. When people start failing, they start thinking, maybe I should just retreat. Maybe I should just go back to my 9 to 5. Maybe I should just stand behind that fucking desk again. Maybe I should just sit behind that computer chair at my accounting job that I absolutely fucking hate. We think about safety. And so if you want to be successful and you actually want to be able to travel to places like the Dominican where it's raining, so I'm doing this shit inside. If you want to be successful and you want to be able to travel and do anything that you want, then you need to burn the boats. And my definition of burn the boats is cut yourself off from any other alternative than success. Lesson number 5, do it hard. Entrepreneurship is not a straight graph. It is an up and down journey. It comes with ebbs and flows. And so you need to make the commitment to be the calm in the storm. You need to make the commitment to be the eye in the hurricane. You need to make the commitment that you as an individual are going to show up regardless of whether or not it's raining outside, it's snowing outside, it's hailing outside, and those outside apply to all the situations and the problems and the adversities that you deal with in your life. Do it hard. No matter what, show up and do what needs to be done in order to be successful. Number 6, work on your mindset every single day. Understand that your anxiety, your depression, your fear, your insecurities are not gonna take a break. Your imposter syndrome, the feeling of not being good enough, the haters are gonna come at you on social media. You need to work on your mindset every single day, and so that you don't get affected by the outside circumstances or the internal circumstances. The world sometimes can feel like it's against you, and so you can't also be at war with yourself. Meditate every single day, express gratitude, and focus on your vision so that you know exactly where you're going on a day-to-day basis. Number 7, break the chains. The paradigm that you've subscribed to does not make logical sense. I don't want to be on my deathbed and look back on my life and realize that I spent the last 50 years working at a 9 to 5 that I didn't like to get paid $25 to $50 an hour. That to me does not sound like a fulfilling way to live my life. I want to live my life traveling with my family, living my dream, driving my dream car, living in my dream house. I want to do it all. And so you need to break the chains, and you can't think like the masses or you'll end up like them. Understand that the way that you've been subscribed to reality does not make logical sense, and so do do something to prove to yourself that anything is possible. Go on a, a month-long vacation by yourself. Hire that mentor that you've always wanted to hire, or, find that partner that you've always wanted to find. Do the internal work that is necessary so you can unlock that next level. That's it, that's all. If you got value from this video, make sure you like it, turn on post notifications, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.